Today we're diving into 20 really easy, simple things that you can stop doing to help your body specifically burn belly fat. My name's Autumn. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's in nutrition and human performance, and today's video is sponsored by LMNT. More on them in a bit. Okay, the first thing might seem kind of surprising, but it's to stop doing so much cardio. Excessive cardio can raise our stress hormone cortisol, and higher levels of cortisol are directly tied to weight gain around the belly. Plus, running just isn't the best tool to increase fat burning because it can result in muscle loss. And muscle loss slows down our metabolism and can make it harder to burn fat as fuel. Cardio is fine a few times per week, but it's not something that you want to primarily be using as your main exercise tool when you're looking to target belly fat. There are other exercises that are much better, and we'll get into that in just a second. Okay, the second is to stop adding sugar into your coffee. Adding sugar into a liquid just quickly raises our blood sugar level and our storing hormone insulin. And having higher levels of that storing hormone consistently has been tied to weight gain, specifically around the belly. So if you need to have something sweet in your coffee, at least use stevia or monk fruit in their pure form without any other added sugar. The third is to stop buying smoothies. Not necessarily to stop making smoothies, but to stop buying them at restaurants or smoothie shops. These types of smoothies tend to be really high in sugar, usually somewhere between 80 to 100 grams of sugar. This will be from dates or a lot of banana. Regardless, it's a lot of sugar, and especially it's blended up, so it has a really high glycemic load, really can spike our glucose level, and really can spike that storing hormone insulin and shift our body out of fat burning. So instead, have more control over your smoothie. Make sure it's something that actually supports your weight loss and wellness goals. I have a lot of free recipes that you can check out. I'll have one of my favorites linked right up here. Plus, you'll just save money, which is nice. Okay, the fourth is to stop eating 2 hours before bed. This helps to actually improve sleep quality, and poor quality sleep is directly tied to weight gain around the belly. Okay, the fifth is to stop eating peanut butter as your protein. Now, I wanna make it clear, I'm not saying that you have to stop eating peanut butter. I get people thinking that's what I'm saying often, but instead view it as a fat. Protein is one of the most important foods to help with a body recomposition goal, which is where you're losing body fat, which is exactly what you want when you're looking to achieve a belly fat loss goal while maintaining muscle mass. But if you're counting peanut butter as one of those proteins, it's not really going to help you to reap those same benefits of getting a higher protein intake and helping you to achieve your goal. I also have a full video on the best types of proteins to help you achieve your weight loss goal. I'll have it linked right up here. Okay, the sixth is to stop being scared of weights. Any type of weights, even 5-pound dumbbells or even just using body weight in the beginning, can be a really useful tool to helping the body to burn fat as fuel. And that's because these types of exercises help your body to naturally increase muscle mass. And this increased muscle mass helps to increase your metabolism and helps to make your body better at burning fat as fuel. So if you haven't used any type of weights in the past, now is the time. Okay, the seventh is to stop drinking sugary electrolyte drinks. Gatorade and other popular electrolyte drinks have so much sugar in them while simultaneously not having very many electrolytes. But electrolytes are so important, especially when you're looking to achieve a weight loss or wellness goal, because it's so easy to lose electrolytes when you're doing things to help you achieve your weight loss goal, like switching over to a more whole foods diet or adding in the right type of exercise. We lose so much water, so much sodium, and we need to replace that, which is why instead I love today's sponsor, LMNT. LMNT is a really amazing electrolyte company that has zero sugar and was created for intermittent fasting, lower carb eating, and athletes in mind. It has the sodium, the magnesium, and the potassium to help replace those lost electrolytes. And they do it all without having any sugar, which is like one of my favorite features about LMNT. And they taste great. I've been using LMNT for over 2 years now. I have at least one LMNT per day to help make sure that I'm hydrated. And I found that on the days that I forget to have an LMNT, I just don't have the same energy levels, especially on days that I work out or especially on days where it's just hotter out. I've noticed that my energy levels dip so dramatically if I don't have an LMNT that I always make sure to have it on hand. I bring it with me when I travel. When I go to the zoo, I pretty much always just have LMNT. Some of my favorite flavors are the raspberry, the orange, and the lemon habanero, but their mango chili is also amazing. And right now, LMNT is offering my viewers a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single-serve packets free with any LMNT order. It's a really great way to test out all 8 flavors, so you can get yours at drinklmnt.com/autumn. It is only available through my link, so make sure to check out drinklmnt.com/autumn. I'll also have the link down in the description below. Okay, the 8th thing is to stop eating bread, or at least like traditional bread. Bread has a relatively high glycemic load for 2 slices that you'd usually use to make like a sandwich. So for my clients and for those who are looking to specifically target fat loss and to lose weight around their belly, I suggest using swaps like jicama wraps, coconut wraps, using bell pepper as a sandwich, which is, oh my gosh, so good, or making homemade flax bread, which is also a really great alternative. Okay, the 9th is to stop watching watching TV before bed. Watching TV before bed can cause your body to reduce your sleep hormone melatonin and result in poor quality sleep. So make sure to stop watching all TV about 1 hour before bed. Okay, the 10th is to stop having more than 2 cups of coffee per day, which I know might sting for some people hearing this. But too much caffeine can raise our cortisol levels, which is our stress hormone. And remember, high levels of cortisol are directly tied to weight gain around the belly. Okay, the 11th is to stop having oatmeal for breakfast. Now, some people can get away with having oatmeal and still achieve their weight loss and wellness goals, but especially if you're finding that you're really struggling with achieving your goals, and specifically if you're finding that you have weight gain around the belly, which is usually a result of insulin resistance, then you'll want to swap that higher starchy, higher blood sugar spiking oatmeal for something that's going to be less starchy and less blood sugar spiking. So you can try having eggs or grain-free oatmeal, which I do have a recipe for, and you can check that out right up here. Okay, the 12th is to stop going to bed at 11 p.m. or later. If we go to bed too late, this throws off our circadian rhythm. Even if we're getting enough sleep, the quality of the sleep can be a lot lower. The less optimal sleep can make you feel more hungry, crave sugary foods the next day, and increase your stress hormone cortisol. So aim for about 10 p.m. or earlier, especially if you're a grandma like me and you go to bed at like 9 or 8:30. Okay, the 13th is to stop sitting for more than an hour at a time. Now, I'm not saying you have to like go out for a 20-minute walk every single hour, but at the very least, just getting up and standing, getting 250 steps just to get some movement in every hour, which is really like 1 to 2 minutes of walking, can help to break up those sedentary moments. That's why I like to use a Fitbit, because it reminds me to get up every hour to make sure I get those 250 steps. Okay, the 14th is to stop eating hyperpalatable desserts. Now, I'm not saying to stay away from desserts entirely, but to definitely avoid those that cause a bliss point. This is going to be those that are really hyperpalatable, really ultra flavorful, and combine a higher sugar and higher fat level. You can think of something like traditional cookies, traditional cake, or ice cream. Instead, opt for lower sugar dessert options like my zero sugar whipped cream with berries, or I have a full video on different dessert options that you can check out. I'll also have linked up here. Okay, the 15th is to stop eating rice or pasta. Both of these are so high glycemic load, especially rice and even brown rice. So instead, swap these out for lower glycemic load options. Some of my favorites are cauliflower rice, hearts of palm pasta, or using like zucchini or spaghetti squash for a pasta replacement. And depending on your carb sensitivity level, you could even use sweet potato noodles. Just make sure they're the fresh type, literally made from sweet potato, and not like the type that just looks like regular pasta. Usually that type has a lot of cassava flour in it. Okay, the 16th is to stop having more than 1 alcoholic drink per day. And ideally, this really should only be a few times per week, because alcohol does really disrupt sleep quality. And as we've talked about, sleep quality is directly tied to weight gain around the belly. But on top of that, having too much alcohol can also increase our visceral fat. And if you are going to have alcohol, just make sure it's a lower sugar option. My personal favorites are dry farm wine, or you can make yourself like a zero sugar cocktail. Okay, the 17th is to stop eating dried fruit. Dried fruit is so easy to load up on sugar without even realizing it. And most dried fruit has a glycemic load of about 40, which is roughly triple the glycemic load of a sweet potato. So it can really spike our blood sugar level. Instead, just stick to whole lower sugar fruit. Okay, the 18th is to stop eating protein bars. And I'm putting that in quotes just because like a lot of protein bars don't actually have that much protein, and they tend to have a lot more sugar than actual protein. So you're kind of just eating like a very well marketed candy bar. But protein bars can also tend to promote snacking, which can shut off fat burning between meals. Okay, the 19th is to stop scrolling on your phone right before bed. We've all been guilty of this in the past, but it's something that is directly affecting your sleep quality. I know it might seem relaxing, but really what you're doing is you're shutting off your sleep hormone melatonin and really drastically reducing your sleep quality. So just like with the TV, aim for no phone 1 hour before bed. This one really works. It does take a little bit of time to adjust to if you're used to just scrolling on your phone right before bed. Just try reading instead, and eventually you'll get used to it and your sleep quality will really improve. Okay, the 20th is to stop eating cereal. Even basic cornflakes have a pretty high glycemic load, and that's not even the type that has added sugar. Plus, cereal is just really low in protein, and we really need to have enough protein to make sure that we're achieving our body recomposition goal, which is where we're losing body fat while maintaining muscle mass. And if you're looking for some ideas instead of cereal to help you achieve your weight loss goals, you should check out one of my favorite higher protein, low sugar smoothie recipes with this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.